Hi there! Welcome to this new learning series. After the presentation, we expect you to differentiate the various communication models, recognize the importance of the models in understanding the communication process as applied in everyday life. It's perfect one more time. Let's check your vocabulary. Think of what these four pictures share in common. Now. If you answered communication in less than 10 seconds, congratulations, you're smarter than you think.
Hi there, I'm teacher Micah from the group Communicare. Treat you a happy learning and with a grateful heart guides you to teach of today's topic. Presenting to you the models of communication process. Have you talked to somebody but didn't get any reaction from that person at all? Have you experienced sending a message without receiving any feedback? If yes, then this is the linear communication. So, the linear communication is one way focusing on the transmission of a message to a receiver who never responds or has no way of responding to the information conveyed. Like for instance, competition organizer is presenting the contest mechanics. The message is final and cannot be contended at all. Next, it could be the president giving his State of the Nation address on national television. Our first model is the Shannon-Weaver model. That picture depicts an example of linear type of communication. The Shannon-Weaver model, which started 1949 in particular. It is also considered as the mother of all communication models. It is one-way process starting from a source or the procedure of message, passing through a channel, or the signals adopted for transmission, which may at times be interrupted by noise or the what we so-called barrier to a receiver, or the decoder of message from the signal. The process stops after the message has arrived at its destination. And for the next slide, set your eyes on a video. What have you noticed? The video you watched shows a one-way process. Notice the role of the sender and the receiver. Are there any turn taken occur? Of course none. It really lacks receiver's feedback.
Hi, I'm teacher Mika and I'm very grateful to teach you the next model. So come on, learn with me. When was the last time someone surprised you and how did you react? Who was the last person whom you praised for a job well done? And what response did you get? What is the significance of getting a response or reaction from the person to whom you addressed your statement? Let's proceed to the second model of communication, introducing interactive approach. It is a two-way communication process where a response is given after a message is sent. The recipient of the action intentionally or unintentionally gives a feedback associated with the information received. Schramm model. Take a look at the picture. What have you noticed? Of course, you noticed something different with the previous model, in this model known as the Schramm 1954, which visualized the process of communication as an exchange of thoughts and ideas. Feedback was added to the Shannon-Weaver model. The recipient of the message decodes it and creates a feedback based on his understanding of the information sent and vice versa. The figure identifies the 6 elements of communication, which are the sender, the message sent, the receiver, and the feedback provided by the receiver and sent back as a response to the sender, and the process of encoding and decoding, where encoding is when an idea or information is translated into words and expressed to other. Decoding is when the idea or information is understood and interpreted by the receiver. Let me show you this one. What have you noticed? The process you watched goes on starting from the sender or source who encodes the message transmitted to the receiver which he interprets, decodes a message or feedback to be sent back to the source who in turn decodes and interprets the information sent. Feedback makes a difference. If the receiver did not respond to the statement of the sender, the latter will not know whether he or she understand what the former said. The exchange of ideas or information verifies that both parties understand the message.
Hi, I'm Teacher Asper, and I will be teaching you the next model.
Communication is dynamic. It has a complex nature. It takes place among individuals at any given time with any given subject. However, there are tendencies that barriers would interfere which may create a sudden impact and change in the processing of information. Alright, introducing you the third model. Now look at the given picture. This illustration shows the process of transactional model, where the communicator or source encodes the message and transmits it through a channel. The message transmitted may be affected by the noise or barrier. The receiver or recipient of the message decodes, processes, and filters the message for understanding and is now ready to give his own feedback to the sender. The transactional model shows a circular process of interaction between the persons involved in the communication, with each one actively participating and sharing ideas with one another. Feedback is given freely and deliberately to one another or to all members participating in the communication transaction. The sender and the receiver may simultaneously exchange roles as communicators. The noise or barrier to communication is also taken into consideration, for it may directly or indirectly affect the smooth flow of communication. Here, now what do you think it shows? The message was not clearly conveyed due to the barrier. The communication continues in order to clarify the intended meaning of the sender. When the transmission is cut along the way due to the barrier, the communicators work collaboratively to understand each other. Now the sender becomes the receiver of feedback, the response from the receiver. The receiver also acts as sender, providing information in response to the message conveyed. In this way, the communication is made more effective and complete. That is all for now. I hope you've learned a lot and find this video helpful.